Hello everyone, River here. I decided to make a video about the Vegascon experience as far as like all of the Song Remains the stuff. Song Remains the Same stuff. Sorry, I'm still catching up on sleep. Because, I thought about writing it down, but oh my god, that would be a freaking novel, and I'm already writing one if you remember. Also, I'm just feeling very lazy and I would rather just talk about it. And I can make the faces and stuff and use the tone of voices and just kind of tell the story better that way, I think. So here we go. So the first time, well, let's get to Misha second, because the first Supernatural cast member who I talked to about the story was Osric. On Thursday night at the cocktail party, like, there was dancing and stuff, and he danced with every single fan. He went out of his way to make sure and dance with every single fan, and it wasn't like that kind of dancing. It was like he would do the the awkward high school dancing with each of us. And so like when it came my turn, I spun him around in a circle and I dipped him because I was like, this isn't me. But anyway, so when he was leaving, he went around and said goodbye to every fan, one-on-one. I mean, like, what a sweetheart. And so I was like, hey, before you go, I have to make a nerdy confession. I'm the author of the longest story, supernatural story in the fandom. And then I told him, like, a spoiler pertaining to Kevin, and he was like, and he gave me the biggest hug, and that's kind of probably saying a lot right there. But anyway, so that's where he heard about that. And then on Saturday was the day that Misha got there or had stuff. He might have gotten there on Friday, I don't know. But he was there, and then the first thing on the schedule with him was photo ops. A lot of the times, like on Thursday and Friday, the celebrity would appear on stage first and then do their photo ops. So you had seen them in person from a distance, and then you saw them in person at the photo op closer. With Misha, he just showed up, and they have like a divider in the room where you can't see what's like the pictures that are being taken until you are maybe like 5 people away. So it's a little nerve-wracking because you're just like, that person is up there and you can't see them, but you know they're there, and it's kind of like I wasn't really nervous about doing any of the other pictures, but like Misha, I was like, oh geez, like So I'm trying to keep in my head, like the picture ideas that I wanted to do, because there were 3 of them, and you do them back to back to back when you've purchased 2 or more. Which I actually bought 4, but one was on Sunday, and I haven't gotten it back yet. It's going to be a month or so because I wasn't able to get it in time before I had to catch my flight. So there's one more photo op coming, guys, and I haven't seen it either, and it's going to be a good one, I think. But, so anyway, my turn comes, and I'm just like, because he's real. He's a real person, and he looks so much hotter in person than he does on screen, and it's just like, like your brain just kind of flies out the window, and it doesn't really seem to work anymore. And I got up there and I was like, hi Misha, I have 3 photo ops with you. And then, I have the book with me because that was the first one that we did. And see, I'm getting flustered just thinking about it. And I'm like, can we be like, can you hold this book? And he was like, what is this? And I was like, it's fan fiction I wrote. And he's like, and then he, did his pose, and I'm like, I did my pose. And then I took the book and I threw it over to my friend. She was behind me in line, Ariel. What's up, girl? And he's looking at me like I'm kind of crazy because I literally just like slid it across the floor or something, because they make you feel intensely pressured to get done as fast as humanly possible. There's loud music going where you have to shout to be heard at the celebrity or whoever is up there. And so it's kind of intense. It's a little bit like nerve-wracking. I don't like to be put under pressure like that. Who does? Just like, be fast or we're going to yell at you. That's not fun for anybody. So I kick the book away, and I look back at Misha, and he's looking at me, and I'm like, ugh. And I was like, I could not remember. But then I was like, okay, yeah, the holding hands and jumping. So I was like, hold my hand and we're gonna jump. And we did it once, and we didn't jump at the same time, and I was like, oh shit, man. And he was like, no, okay, we'll jump 1, 2, 3, then jump. And I was like, okay, got it. And holding his hand the whole time, man. Sorry, but that was a good moment for me. So then we did it again. We got it that time, and then I could not remember anything else. Like, my mind just went blank. I'm looking at him and I'm like, I don't remember. So then I just like grabbed his other hand and I like looked at the camera and smiled. And then I was like, thanks, bye. and that was it. So he he probably thought I was insane, which, you know, I am a little bit. But it's very nerve-wracking, and you only get like a small window, and there's like so many people standing around to make sure that you are fast, and they're like pushing you kind of like through the system. It's just very nerve-wracking. So that was that. So he saw the book and everything. He knew what it was. And then the next thing that I had was the private meet and greet, which I didn't tell you guys about. I wanted it to be a surprise, kind of, because I just wanted to surprise you guys with something. So there were only 10 people who got into that, and you bid on it actually in an auction. So it was that was kind of stressful for me to try and like win, because at the last minute it got intense. I think it was March 6th or something that the bidding ended, and just, I mean, it went from like $500 to a lot more in just a few minutes. But to me, you know, I'm like, I make okay money. This is like a once or maybe twice in a lifetime experience. I really want to go for the gold, because I knew I wasn't going to have much of a chance to like talk to him or tell him about the book, and that's really, you know, like, I wanted to do that. So anyway, the meet and greet was at like 2:30 or something in the afternoon, or something, I don't remember. So I go find the room, I get in there, and there's all the other girls, and I'm like, hey guys, you know, and I didn't have any of my stuff with me at that point. I'm really wishing that I had the book with me at that time. But anyway, Misha comes in a couple minutes, and he's like, hey everybody, and we were signing a book for Janelle, like, of birthday wishes, and so he signed that too. And I don't even remember how it came up. The weekend was such a blur, but I'm trying to remember. I think he might have been like, you're the one with the book, right? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, that was a really big book. And then I'm like, that was only the first 30 chapters. There are like almost 130, and everyone at the table's like, what? And then I explained, I'm like, I write a fan fiction, and it's actually 2 million words long. And then Misha's over to this side of me, like down about 2 seats, and he's like, 2 million? Everyone at the table was like, 2 million? And I'm like, yes. Because I know that sounds insane, and it is a little insane, but I'm proud of it. And a little embarrassed. But anyway, so everybody kind of starts peppering me with questions, and I was like, whoa, because they're like, what is it about? Who is in it? And Misha was like, guys, this thing was like a college textbook. It was huge. You know, he's like showing them, because he had held it for a minute, and you know, he was kind of like intrigued by this, and I'm like, you know, it's a Castiel with an original character. It's a romance. And they're like, oh, cool. Like, who is she, and what's her name? And I'm like, her name is Alexandra, and she goes by Alex for short, and she's Sam's twin sister. You know, I felt like explaining it was so weird with him in there. I was like, this is bizarre. And they were like, okay, so why did you decide to write this? And I'm like, well, I watched the series, and like immediately I felt like they should have had a sister, because, you know, I'm one of 3, and there's always that extra drama and tension, and I really enjoyed making my brothers' lives living hell for one, and so you know, why not? So I started that, and then when Cass showed up, I was like, oh, he's cute. And at this point, I looked right at Misha and I go, and everyone at the table kind of giggles, and he actually was like, you know, he kind of like looked down and smiled, like kind of bashfully or whatever, and that was the best moment ever. So then I just kind of told them, you know, so I decided to write it, and it got out of hand, and here we are now. And I really wish that I had taken it in there with me, because I'm sure they would have loved to like see it and pick it up, and oh well, it was a crazy time. It was busy, and like you're constantly running back and forth to do things, and so yeah. But he was very intrigued with it, and so he was like, so Cass gets the Winchester sister, and I was like, yeah, and he's like, do you have the Sparks Notes version of this? Because I think he wanted to know, like, sort of the basic plot line, and this is where my mind just went, because I didn't even know where to start, you guys. I didn't even know where to start, so, and it got me so, like, overwhelmed, I was like, well, because I was starting to feel like I'm talking too much. These other girls need to talk too and get some time. So I'm just like, meh. So what did I say? I was like, it's really complicated to just summarize. I don't really know how to do that in a succinct way. And, you know, like, I don't want to hijack this time at all, everybody else here, you know, and I don't know if anybody here ships Destiel. I don't want to step on anybody's toes, or anything like that. And that's when he was like, you know, he's totally joking, and it was hilarious, because he's like, you don't ship Destiel? And I'm like, no. And then he gets up from the table and acts all like disgusted, and he's like, well, and you guys have probably seen where that kind of went viral on Twitter or Tumblr or something. He's like, we can fight or something, and I was like, Misha, Dean is just like too mean to Cass. Like, I just don't like that. And he's like, yeah, that's true. So that was the extent of that. Oh, and I also got to tell him about how this was later though, in the coffee table book, and he gave me a high five, and I got to hug him later, and I think I might have hugged him too hard, because he's like, no, that's not the right sound. But he definitely like grunted when I hugged him. Sorry! I'm kind of an enthusiastic person, and I don't do the gentle little pat, pat, pat. I hug people. So, and then his panel came, and I wanted to go up there and just ask because I know that a lot of times the questions are either duplicate questions, like he gets asked the same stuff over and over, or like super serious stuff, and I was like, I'm just gonna ask a stupid question. And so I stood in line, and I was maybe like the 6th or 7th question to get answered. And so I'm standing, you know, it's my turn. He's like, hi, and I said, hi. He's like, how are you? I'm like, I'm okay, I guess. Just kidding, I'm great. And he's like, I forgot your name. Well, actually, I don't know your name because I never asked. And I'm like, well, it's River. And he's like, and then he turns to the audience, and he was like, I'm like, he's like, River has written this like 2 million word, did he say book or fan fiction? I think he might have said book. And this is where my memory just like kind of is gone. I don't remember what he said, or what I said, or what happened. It was kind of like, I think basically he was like, she wrote the book, and I think he kind of explained that it was fan fiction, and everyone in the room is like, because just before my question, he got asked a question that's supposed to be illegal, and I think somebody snuck that in, because the person who holds the microphone for you, they screen each question to make sure that it's appropriate. They don't allow certain stuff like about ships and anything like sexual. They don't allow that. So like the person before me asked him like, what's your favorite ship out of these 3? Destiel, Megstiel, and I don't remember the other one. Maybe it was Sastiel? I don't remember, but so right after that, when everyone in the room was like, oh, and he very, like, artfully kind of dodged it and gave a, like, stupid answer. But, right after that, and then he's like, and it's a ship, right? To me, and I'm like, yeah. And he's like, what would the ship be called? Because, he knew it was an original character. I don't remember if that was explained to the audience or not. I can't remember. But, and I was like, it's Calyx? Calyx? And I don't remember if I don't remember, you guys. Isn't that terrible? But, like, I was so shocked that he brought that up in front of everybody, and I was just, like, pretty flustered, okay? I've been on Tumblr. I've seen how mean people are about ships and stuff, and I don't want to walk on anyone's toes, and, like, a couple of people that I was sitting behind kept kind of saying mean stuff about people, like, under their breath during panels and stuff, like other fans, and I'm just like, I don't want that, because, I just knew people in the room were, like, hating me at that moment. I don't know. But, so I think I was like, Misha, I didn't even want to talk about this. Can I ask you my question? And he was like, okay, what's your question? And I was like, if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what food would you pick? And the answer ended up being hot dogs, because he had read somewhere that hot dogs were what you can survive on. But I didn't ask what you'd survive on if you're on a desert island, so now he's stuck eating hot dogs for the rest of his life. Sucks to be you. But, and then he went, and he was like, oh, that reminds me, he went backstage, and I'm still up there, in front of the mic. They hadn't dismissed me yet. And he got that kale soda out, and he was like, the Kale Association or something has asked me to be their spokesperson. Hello, how are you? And he wasn't kidding, and he's like, and they sent me this, or somebody sent me this, this is a terrible idea, and he cracked it open, and he tried it in front of everybody, and he was like, that's terrible, and, like, he glanced over at me, and I'm like, I thought he would not, but then he walked right over, and, started handing it to me, and you can see my hand in one of the videos. So I found a video of just this part, but not the part where he was talking about, the story. And I got to try it. So basically, I've kissed Misha. No, not really. But I drank after him. And then I handed it to this other girl. And I don't know. It wasn't Fanta. Kale soda. It's not going to taste like good, you guys. It's going to taste kale-y. And kale kind of tastes like broccoli. But I didn't think it was terrible. It wasn't like, this is great. And I'm kind of like, why would anybody ever want kale soda? Because kale healthy, soda not. But, so, that was, I'm trying to think, I'm pretty sure that's everything. Oh, autographs. Hello. Autographs were that evening? Or Sunday? It was Sunday. Because Saturday, I had dinner with Osric. Sunday evening was autographs. So, I got in line, and whenever it was my turn, I handed him the book, and I'm like, hey, it's me. and he winked at me. He does that to everybody. He's like, winky face, and his face goes all wrinkly. I'm like, I can't look at you. I didn't say that, but that's what I was thinking. And he's like, and he flipped it open again. He's like, the words aren't even big, because he was just in awe that it was that big. And I'm like, 2 million words, dude. That was only, let me think, how long? The first 30 chapters might be around 100,000 words. I'm probably way off because I'm not a numbers person, but he could not get over the length. That's what she said, or something. Okay, I'm mature. Anyway, so then I pulled out my phone because I had set that background of it to that picture of Astrid that I posted a couple days ago, to show him, because I thought it would be really cool to get his reaction to like what she looks like. And I'm like, this is what she looks like, the girl in the book. What do you think? And he's like, he's looking at the phone. He held my phone. Oh, he's looking at the phone and he's like, who is she? He's like, is she a real person? No, she's a fake person. What kind of question is that? But he's like, I like her. Wow. I'm like, oh. But yeah, he looked and he looked and he looked. I'm like, okay, do you need a private moment with my phone? And then he's like asking, like, where I found her. Is she an actress? What kind of stuff has she been in? What movie did I see her in? And then his handler is like giving him the look like, come on, you need to hurry this up. And I was like, well, thank you. And, he winked at me again. Jerk. And that was that. And then I had that final photo op with him the next day. And it also, like, the book is in that one too. I'm not going to tell you guys anything else about it until I post the picture. And like I said, I was going to miss my flight if I stayed around and waited for them to print it out, because it was so late in the day and I had like a 1 a.m. flight, and so I had to be at the airport at like, I don't know, me and Ariel, we found out we were from the same city and that we had the almost same flight time, so we went to the airport together at like 10:30 or something. And got dinner, and we were so tired and so just punch drunk that, that everybody probably thought we were lunatics, but that's a whole different story. So I didn't get that one last photo op, and you have to wait for it to be posted online or something. Or no, they are going to send you the hard copy, and I don't know how you claim it yet. I'll figure it out. But you can't, it's not going to be online to claim for like 2 weeks. Or March 31st is what the sheet of paper said. Anyway, that's all of the stuff about Misha and Song Remains the Same. And oh, I should show you guys the face that Jensen made when I handed him the book for him to sign, and I was like, "Hi Jensen, this is fan fiction that is not Destiel." And he goes, "That exists?" Kind of like that. I can't really do his face, but he just, he was like, precious little pumpkin about it. So, and that's basically all that happened there, because he signed it really quick, and they move along. Yeah, so it was pretty cool. And Osric did see the book. Like, he was out in the halls just randomly talking to people and stuff. And it was right after my Misha photo op, and he saw it, and he's like, "Is that Twilight?" And I was like, "You've got to be kidding me." But he's like, "That looks exactly like Twilight." And I'm like, "No, this is what I was telling you about." And he of course was also like, "Geez, this book is huge." And it is. Have I ever shown you guys like the spine? Hold on 1 second. I will get it, and then this video will finally be over, because it's a really long video. Have you guys seen my hair bow? Isn't that cute? Let me get this book. So this is the book, and I don't know. Yeah, the words aren't tiny or big. It's not a big font. I think it's like 12 point. Look, there's chapter 16, which is, the Jimmy Novak chapter. That was painful. Anyway, oh geez, this makes me so happy. Look. They've all touched it. Oh! That's what she said. Anyway, I need to stop. I still am very sleep deprived and tired. And kind of just like in a fog, because Vegascon was so fun. And I was thinking that it was the only time I was ever going to do a convention. And now I'm like, it was so fun though. And they're doing one in Jacksonville, Florida next year. And that's not very far from me. So I'm kind of like already thinking, I need to go. I've got to go. So I'll probably end up going. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I will either make another one about like all of the J2 stuff, because I did ask them a sister question on behalf of myself and all the cisfic writers out there, because I thought that would be, you know, pretty cool to know from their perspective what they thought. But again, I cannot remember what they said, really. It was a very, very overwhelming experience, to say the least, in a good way. But I'm bad at remembering stuff anyway. So anywho, this video is 25 minutes long now, and I'm sorry. I hope you guys are having an excellent day. You look beautiful right now, and always. Let me know what you think. I'll talk to you guys later.